Mayan ruins were excellent. Everything I expected to be and more. The kids were phenomenal, but I think the snorkeling today took the cake. I mean, just being underwater. I mean, I'm sitting there snorkeling and I'm 5 feet away from an 8-foot shark. It was nerve-wracking and awesome at the same time.
I would not change or trade this experience for anything.
I've definitely gained a greater knowledge of the culture and everything that is Belize.
Belize itself is, you can't get in a classroom, do it like this.
Watatura lugu bunirinu, watatura lugu bunirinu, sin precio.
You know, like you're really touching somebody else's life. You're really doing something for somebody else. You're not just here to vacation and go snorkeling and go on a cruise or whatever. You're really here for the kids, and you can tell like when you leave that you really did do something. You weren't just like in the classroom and just sat there. You really did touch them.
My favorite part, and probably the thing that I will remember the most, is being at Unity Presbyterian, and there was a little boy in my class, and he never did any of his work. All the other students would have their notebooks out, and he wouldn't do anything. So I asked the teacher about it, and she said that he never, even if they give him a pencil or open his notebook for him, he just doesn't do any of his work. So I went over and made an effort to try to help him and get him to open his notebook and do everything. And he just needed that extra attention, and he was so happy to learn after that. And it was amazing because he went up to the teacher afterwards and he was so excited. He asked her if they could do some more work, and she was just so shocked. She was just like, wow, he never does this. And so she was like, you are an inspiration, like this is amazing. So it made me feel so good. So before I left, I made him promise me to keep doing his work, and he had the biggest smile on, and he was like, I will for you. And it was just, I will never forget that moment in my life. It was the best feeling ever.
The boat ride was absolutely phenomenal. We took it was about an hour boat ride to the actual ruins, and that was just breathtaking. I mean, we saw some really, really cool stuff. Well, climbing the ruins was something that I can't put into words. I mean, it was just that amazing. We go to the biggest temple, and that one, it was this steep, straight up. I mean, you had a rope that you had to climb up the stairs. It was intimidating.
This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Not everybody gets to have the experience to climb on these temples that were there before Christ was. And it was exhausting. It was like on the highest one, like once you hit the top, you can see over 20 miles. And I got halfway up there and I was like, I don't know if I can do this, but it was totally worth it. And it was hot, it was steamy, it was everything, but it was 100% worth it. Highly recommend it. It's totally different than being in a classroom, which made this whole experience worthwhile. Like, we got to talk about one-on-one how we felt about things and what we experienced and how similar or how not similar things were. And Dr. Hardy and Dr. Wynn are just fabulous professors. They have so much insight and they just so much knowledge about it. It was amazing, especially with the groups. Like, we all came from different backgrounds, different areas. Yes, we all are education majors, but we all have different point of views.
You really get to know them. Like, I've never had a class with either of the professors. I've been in education club with Dr. Hardy. And I've talked with them through email, so I never really got to know them. And when you're here, you really get to know them better.
It was hard because I signed up just right after like spring break was coming up, so I was trying to save up for that, and luckily I just saved chunks of my paychecks. I also received a scholarship through University of North Georgia with it that helped out a lot, which I'm thankful for, so thank you.
I'll tell you what, it was well worth it. Money well spent.
Yeah, I would definitely do it again. I even thought about doing it again next year.
I paid for some, my parents paid for some, and then I went on the GSC website and I saw that there's scholarship for study abroad. That's also what helped me to come.
I would come again. I think at the beginning, on Saturday when we arrived, I really wanted to go home. I was really homesick. It was just a different place. I just had no idea. I was away from my family. I've never done that. And I am so glad I stuck it out. It was just amazing and I'll just never forget it. And I think that if anyone has the opportunity to come, they really, really should, and they won't regret it.
If someone was on the fence whether or not they should go on this trip, my advice would be absolutely go. Absolutely. The question I would ask them is, do you want a life-changing event, something that would change your life forever?